Good evening. I call this meeting on social development back to order. My name is Katrina Knockleby. I am the MLA for Great Slave and Deputy Chair of this standing committee. We are currently conducting a public briefing on Bill 79, an act to amend the Judicature Act. Bill 79 brings the GNWT into compliance with commitments made under the Canadian Free Trade Agreement and address two concerns raised during engagement with the judiciary. As part of committee's review of Bill 79, we are holding a public hearing which is being live streamed on all Legislative Assembly channels. Thank you to those who are listening in and for those in attendance. I would like to remind all members and presenters to please pass all questions and comments through myself as the chair. And please wait to be recognized before speaking, as this will allow a smoother transition. I will now ask all members to introduce themselves for the record, starting with MLA Cleveland.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, and good evening. My name is Caitlin Cleveland. I'm the MLA for Cam Lake.
Rylan Johnson, MLA for Yellowknife North. Good evening, everyone.
Lisa Semler, MLA for Nunavut Twin Lakes.
Thank you. I will now pass this over to the Minister of Justice to introduce himself and any of his staff and to proceed with opening remarks in his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm pleased to be here to discuss Bill 79, an act to amend the Judicature Act. Bill 79 proposes amendments to the Judicature Act that will bring the Northwest Territories into compliance with the Canadian Free Trade Agreement and make unrelated improvements to the functioning of the Court of Appeal. Today, I am joined by Paul McKenna, Legal Counsel with the Department of Justice, and Ronna Sherrigan, my Ministerial Special Advisor. Madam Chair, the Canadian Free Trade Agreement is an intergovernmental agreement between the Canadian provinces and territories, which has replaced the former Agreement on Internal Trade. The GNWT signed the new agreement in April 2017 and is now obligated to make changes to our legislation which will ensure trade orders of a presiding body or compliance panel established under the agreement have, once filed, the same force and effect as an order of our Superior Court. This amendment will come into effect retroactively to January 1st, 2019. During engagement with the judiciary, two unrelated additional changes were suggested that could help to improve the functioning of the Court of Appeal. The Act will be amended to provide that a Court of Appeal judge who ceases to hold office may still grant a judgment on pending matters within a certain time frame. And it will also be amended to provide that if a judge who has sat on a Court of Appeal panel is unable to continue with the case, the other two judges may render judgment on the appeal if it is unanimous. This will reduce the need for cases to be reheard should a presiding judge become unavailable to conclude a case in these circumstances. Thank you, Madam Chair. This concludes my opening remarks, and we would be pleased to answer any questions the members may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Simpson. I will now open the floor. Do any members have questions on the Judicature Act? Seeing none, I would like to thank the Minister and his staff for coming here this evening. Just note that if anybody listening online has any burning thoughts on this, that they can submit to us as a committee. Thank you, Minister Simpson. If you have any closing remarks, feel free to go ahead.
I thank Paul for staying at work late to appear on this meeting, and thank you to committee, and we'll see you again very soon.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will resume at 7:30 with the Legal Professions Act. Thank you.
Do we have to wait till 7:30?
I think we do, because we're advertised.